So this is what if Naruto was Sanjin Wu's reincarnation. So how this is going to start is that the Uchiha massacre will not happen the because the Obito never popped up, and stole the Kurama and just the seal basically broke so the they didn't blame the Uchihas and didn't do anything like that. So um, that's great. Then uh, they'll Kushina and Minato will have three children, triplets, Kenma and Mito. Kenma will have basically look like Ken and Naruto, but will have red hair, and Mito will have yellow hair, looking like a young Kushina, and Naruto will have black hair, which kind of suss them out, you know, cause none of the other children have that, and they kind of, you know, at first, mm, uh, Minato thinks Kushina may have cheated on him, but no, cause they took a blood test, and Naruto is 100% their child, Minato and Kushina's child. They think that it has something to do with the fox. When the fox came out of Kushina, the seal broke. They think some of its soul went into Naruto, and that's why Naruto is basically controlled by 2% of the KUB. This is something like that, some stupid theory. You're probably wondering what happened to the actual QB. After Hiruzen sacrificed his life using the Reaper that seal and saved the whole village by basically, I don't know, doing something useful for once. Okay, he used the Reaper that seal and dies, and he splits the KUB into three parts. 2% of the KUB goes into Kushina so she can stay alive, and so I'm so bad at math. What the fuck is it? I don't know. The other two halves goes into Kenma and Mito. So Minato and Kushina thinks Kenma and Mito have the power. I mean, they have the soul too, but they think that Naruto has the evil part of the soul. I don't know. Okay. Time skip. Naruto is 7, so all of the yeah 7, and Naruto is not going to the academy because they need a parent's signature, but he can get that when he's been ignored. Yeah, Kushina basically ignores him. Yeah, basically everyone. And he is not allowed outside the Namikaze compound. And very few times he is allowed to go outside without Kushina and Minato with him. Also, they neglect him, not like big neglection, like beating him up, not giving him food. They just ignore him, but he gets the food and uh, you know a room in the house. So he is kind of sad that his parents ignore him, but he is you know he is grateful that they're at least giving him shelter, clothes, shower, uh, food, and but not love, no love. But they're showering Minato. I mean Kenma and Mito with love, praise, and the whole village bow down at their feet. They'll basically, die for them because Minato announced that the two of them have power. The power of the Kyuubi. Well, the soul, he doesn't know where the soul went, but he says he killed the soul, and they only have the power. So the village basically believes him, and Naruto is basically like forgotten child. He's well, he, well, not well. Kenma and Mito has started, working out, and they basically have muscle. Naruto has none. He's basically a walking stick plant. That's right, stick insect. So, but yeah, so okay, they're now seven, and they're in the house eating. It's dinner time. After they're done eating, uh, Jiraiya, poofs into existence with, the toad on his back. No, he's on the back of the toad, and he says, that I have an important, very important thing that the elder toad sage told me, and the three, and Minato and Kushina, tells Kenma and Mito to, go to the go and play in the play place. And Naruto, he already left, but he's sitting in the stairs, you know, kind of spying. But he has never. I mean, he has seen Jiraiya. He's basically a grandpa, as he read in the book. He reads a lot of books, by the way, from Minato's library. He is very smart, not Shikamaru level, but still very smart. And Naruto, thing, mm, Naruto, is kind of spying on them, and Minato says, "What is it? What is it, Sensei?" And Kushina is curious too, so Jiraiya starts off. The elder stage toad sage has given me a new prophecy, stating that one of the child, no, one of the child of Kushina and Minato will be the child of prophecy who have and never before seen power, a power more greater than the power of the Sage of Six Paths. If this child goes into darkness, he'll basically destroy the whole world. But if he's showered with, love, praises, basically if he's on a good stat, good, you know, good, if he's, treated good, he'll basically, save the world from an incoming monster. Sha. Okay, so, oh, what the fuck? Okay, um, so Naruto is hearing this, and and he, runs up. He's still there, spying, um, and Kushina said it's probably Kenma Omito, because Naruto has literally no game. He literally gets zero bitches. She didn't say that, but she said, Naruto is not, his chakra levels are really, really small, just like his day. So, uh, yeah. So Kushina, basically states that, and Minato is like, yeah, it's probably one of them. It's either Kenma or Mito. And Jiraiya, you know, gives his opinion on what they should do with Naruto. He said, I think you guys should kick the brat out. You know, he's basically freeloading off you. I think he may be the soul of the Kyuubi, because at the when the first time Tsunade, checked into your belly, x-rayed into it, there was only two children, not three. So we think that the Kyuubi got out, but some or most all of his soul is in that child. And they basically believe it because Naruto looks nothing like none of them. Literally. Black hair, um, what kind of eyes? No blue eyes. Nah, yeah, black eyes. Fully blacked out. Nah. So Naruto, hears this and, tears start falling down from his butthole. I mean, eyes. So he runs to his room and start crying. He takes a bag and already packs because he doesn't want to stay in this hellhole any longer. And Naruto basically is like, fuck this shit. And he basically leaves on his own. No, he doesn't leave. He just stays there, packed up. And Kushina, after a little talking, Jiraiya and Kushina, and they make a plan. The basically a schedule on Kenma and Mito's, they how they'll train, who will train them in different ninjutsu, taijutsu, doju, no, boku, senjutsu, all that crazy shit. So Naruto basically gets left out. So Kushina, after Jiraiya leaves, Kushina comes into his room with Minato, and they basically tell him get the fuck out of our house. Not like that, but they basically don't tell him to get out. We're abandoning you. So Naruto is like, what the fuck? Naruto is like, okay, and he doesn't say anything, but they could tell he he was crying, and he leaves. Gets the hell out of there. Oh goddamn. He basically gets out of there. He finds a place to stay. And since he has zero money and zero game, so no girl will let him hit. So he could basically stay in the house for a while. I mean, so he goes to the forest of death. The forest of death, yeah. Yeah, so that's another one. And so he basically goes to the forest of death to find, and he doesn't know that it's the forest of death, but he basically lives there 2 years later. So Naruto's now 9 years old, and he has started to train, and he's pretty buffed out, but not that much. So Naruto's currently, in his house, I mean, in his cave type thing that he created, he's basically dripped out. Very dripped out. I mean, not dripped out. He's walking out near a lake. Yeah, a lake. And he has also basically stolen jutsus uh, Mina- from Minato, not from Minato, but from the village. And he also goes to his house sometimes, to steal some shit, some books on shit. And basically, he has learned a couple of jutsus. He also learned that he has three nature releases. The first one is, uh, what the fuck? What should I give? Uh, Lightning release, and then is fire release, and then is wind. So he steals a bunch of scrolls on fire, wind, lightning, and he learns a couple of jutsus, like three jutsus per nature release affinity. So he gets out of there, and he's walking out, and he takes a shower and goes on his daily stroll to the village. So since it has been 2 years, the village has basically forgotten him. The second son of the Hokage, Naruto, cause they basically think that they basically forget him. Yeah, they basically forget Naruto. They forget Naruto, and Naruto is basically like a civilian to them. But some of the ninjas know him, and they do not talk to him because Minato warned them that he thinks it's the Kyuubi, and some of the shinobi starts to sus him, starts blaming him for some shit. So Naruto has to be careful when he goes out. He goes into this Ichiraku ramen place and steals some food and runs away. And the Ichiraku ramen guy activates his Rinnegan and absolutely claps Naruto and exposes his small ass dick to the village. So no, that doesn't happen. But Naruto does steal from there and gets the fuck out of there. And he doesn't cut it caught. So Naruto is basically eating near the lake, concentrating, you know. After he eats, he meditates for a while, and oh my god, and he hears something coming at him very fast, and he tries to dodge it, but he gets hit by a giant ass snake. No, this is not Orochimaru. It's just one of the some of the snakes that are in the forest of death. So Naruto basically gets knocked out, and the snakes beat, it swallows him. Not before, biting on him. One of his arm is gone. He wakes up in the snake's belly. He's, shitting himself, crying, screaming, trying to get out, but he can't. Okay, so this is how he's going to get the solo leveling system. I know this isn't how it happens in the what is it? Is solo leveling a manga? Yeah, it doesn't happen like is not with the statues because I'm just lazy. So Naruto gets uh something pops up. He think he's hallucinating. It says, "Would you like to become a player?" And there's a yes or no. He clicks yes because his I don't know. He basically clicks yes, and he starts to oh my god. He starts to oh my god. He starts to uh, regenerate basically all of his limbs. One of his limbs that was torn off healed back, like there was nothing there. I mean, it didn't get ripped off like it didn't. So Naruto gets out of it. You know, he does a lightning release jutsu, lightning star. No, a wind star gale palm, and he gales palm into the snakes through the snake's belly, and it rips it open, and the snake dies, and he comes out of it all bloody and shit, and he decided, and he got another notification. You leveled up times three. He leveled up 3 times, and there's a menu. He thinks as it's like a something like the in the ninja book. The the hunter ninja book. Where the most sussy ninjas, the wanted ninjas are in. And it's basically a menu for that. There's speed, I mean agility, speed. Agility is the same. Agility, strength, intelligence, and Naruto already has like 10 intelligence and 6 strength, and no, he doesn't have none of that. So he has some extra points that he got. He's currently level 3, and he puts 3 into strength and 3 into what is it? 3 into speed, agility. So he gets